Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.
It's time for NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. The latest from the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington with Steve Hare, Grant Olson, and sports with Eric Granstrom.
Good evening and welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And this is our Pateras Sky-Fi cam, the only camera we could really find today that wasn't shaking so bad from all of the windy conditions out there today. Wind advisory still in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. We have seen wind gusts around 50 miles an hour, and there's that wind advisory until 8. Southwest winds steady between 20 and 30 miles an hour, and gusts, yes, up to 50 miles an hour. And what we could see from the wind, there's some localized power outages, maybe some downed trees out there. Watch out for maybe some new fire starts from downed power lines. And of course, your outdoor stuff, trash cans and lawn furniture, that was blowing around today, and the wind will continue at least overnight tonight and into the part of tomorrow. We'll talk more about that in your complete weather forecast later on. And for those watching on our Facebook, tune in to Local Channel 12 or Charter Channel 19, or you can stream us live at ncwlife.com for the full evening newscast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. School was closed for a second day at Peshastin-Dryden Elementary after E. coli bacteria was detected in the Peshastin Water District's water system. And Washington State Patrol begins new emphasis patrols tomorrow. Later on, we'll have sports, your weather forecast, and our feature story today. But first tonight, Douglas County deputies responded to a hit and run involving a pedestrian in Rock Island Monday just before 7 p.m. According to a press release from Sheriff Harvey Jesdahl, a 57-year-old Rock Island woman was walking her dogs at the intersection of Saunders and North Garden Avenue when a vehicle drove through the intersection and onto the sidewalk. The woman rolled up onto the hood of the vehicle and fell off the passenger side. The suspect vehicle pulled into a small trailer park, and according to the woman, who was able to give deputies a good description of the vehicle and the driver. Deputies located the driver, who appeared to be intoxicated. According to the press release, deputies arrested 63-year-old Miguel R. Isidro of Rock Island for driving under the influence and hit and run. He was booked into the Chelan County Jail without incident. The victim was taken to Confluence Hospital, and according to Jesdahl, her condition is unknown, but her injuries were not believed to be life-threatening. Chelan Fire and Rescue crews were dispatched to a possible structure fire this morning around 4:30 after a neighbor spotted the fire on South Lakeshore Road. Initial reports from the scene reported a small 50-foot by 50-foot brush fire adjacent to an outbuilding with no structures involved. Crews contained the fire in a matter of minutes. The neighbor who made the call to 911 attempted to contain the fire while waiting for fire response using domestic water to keep the fire from growing until units arrived. The cause of the fire was determined to be an electrical cord used to provide power to a camper located on that property. Well, school was closed for a second day at Peshastin-Dryden Elementary after E. coli bacteria was detected in the Peshastin Water District's water system. The district is expected to determine this afternoon or tonight whether or not school will be held Wednesday. Classes were canceled Monday and Tuesday after the water district detected the bacteria on Friday and Saturday, issuing a boil advisory for its water customers until further notice. Bottled water is available for customers at the Peshastin Fire Station. The Water District posted to its Facebook page yesterday, thanking the residents for their patience and apologizing for any inconveniences. Quote, "We are following all Department of Health procedures and are working closely with them to make sure our system gets back to normal as soon as possible," end quote. For more updates, continue to follow the Water District on Facebook. Washington State Patrol will start safety emphasis patrols tomorrow. This is a continuation of the Move Over law, which requires motorists to slow down and move over when coming up on a state trooper with a pulled over vehicle. An average of 2 patrol cars are struck every month in Washington State due to drivers failing to provide safe space for the officers. Over the weekend, the State Patrol released this video to spread the word about the emphasis patrols.
South of It may not seem fast or close to you, but 100 times a day we leave our office and put ourselves only a door away. An average of 2 patrol cars are struck and 1 trooper injured every month. It's Washington law that you slow down or move over when you see emergency lights ahead. We ask that while we're out here getting you and your family home safe every night, you help us get home safe to our families. Slow down and move over.
And coming up, for the 6th straight year, Chelan PUD commissioners decide there will be no rate increase for 2018, and 2 Wenatchee School District teachers were named National GLAD Team of the Year. We'll explain. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching NCW Life News.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and Local Public House, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
Travel enhances your life in every way. Let the travel professionals at Journey Travel and Tours help you plan that dream vacation. Don't leave the important details to those nameless, faceless online agencies. At Journey Travel and Tours, our goal is to build relationships that last a lifetime. And when you do need help, we have a 24-hour helpline that is routed to one of the agents in our office. When you think travel, think Journey Travel and Tours. It's where your journey begins. Like us on Facebook, and you could be one of our monthly winners.
Welcome back. At their board meeting yesterday, Chelan County PUD commissioners focused on finance, specifically the budget, and decided for the 6th straight year there would be no electric rate increase to its customers. Since 2000, district rates have increased 9%, while consumer rates went up 39%. Chelan PUD has taken advantage of a favorable wholesale market to reduce debt, avoid increases, and maintain reliable service to meet a growing power load. Commissioners also reviewed refinements to the Strategic Facilities Plan and decided to move ahead with design plans at Rocky Reach and Rock Island dams. The PUD will also begin a detailed outreach effort to engage the public about the planned development of a consolidated administrative and operations facility in the North Wenatchee area, which would replace the current downtown headquarters. Other strategic priorities in next year's budget include paying down the district's debt by at least $24 million and to continue its fiber expansion. A first public look at the Pacific draft budget is set for November 6th, followed by more discussion on November 20th. Commissioners will be asked to approve the 2018 budget on December 4th. The Manson High School Ag Shop program held their semi-annual cardboard boat races recently at Manson Bay Park. Every few years, students in Kevin Amston's shop class spend about 2 weeks creating a boat entirely out of cardboard and duct tape. Before they begin to construct their boat, they must first learn the science, physics, and buoyance in creating their cardboard boats. They begin by making small prototypes of their boat and floating them in a small pool as they add golf balls to simulate weight. Then the students go full scale, culminating at the races in Manson Bay. 2 Wenatchee School District teachers were named National Guided Language Acquisition Design, or GLAD Team of the Year for 2017. Terry Govea and Catherine Anderson were named for the award at a conference in California earlier this week. This is the 3rd consecutive year that the Wenatchee School District has won a National GLAD Award. Govea and Anderson are certified GLAD trainers, 2 of only 1,800 nationwide. GLAD is a program that helps students who may have low levels of language or have adverse childhood experiences by giving them strategies to help them learn higher levels of curriculum. The Wenatchee area has participated in the National Make a Difference Day for 25 years with the tradition to see a need to do a good deed. With the October 28th holiday approaching, we'll highlight several local projects that you can participate in this Make a Difference Day. For today, the Foster Creek Conservation District is looking for help restoring habitat in the Waterville Plateau.
We are hoping to get a bunch of volunteers out. We're going to be planting some of those native shrubs and trees, and this is going to be in the West Foster Creek. The location is on a ranch. This has been an area that's probably been grazed for 100 years or more. But the landowner is fencing out cattle from the creek. He's protecting over 20 acres of riparian habitat. So that'll,
good for him.
Absolutely. And the project as a whole, we're going to be installing over 6,000 trees and shrubs. We're not going to be doing that all on Saturday. that would be, that's a lot of work. We're shooting for about 500, 550 on Saturday.
That's still a lot.
It'll be a fair amount, so we could definitely use all the hands we can get. So we'll be doing that, and we'll also be installing browse protection. So they're basically these wire cages that you put around the newly planted plants, because otherwise it'd essentially be an expensive deer buffet.
Yeah, exactly.
That we'd be putting out there.
Yeah.
And for more projects you could help with this Make a Difference Day, search Wenatchee Valley, that is, Make a Difference Day, and it's on Facebook. You're watching NCW Life News. Coming up next, your sports update, followed by today's feature story. That and much more still to come on NCW Life News. Stay with us.
Romaine Electric in Wenatchee is your one-stop repair shop for all your auto, marine, small engine, or heavy-duty truck electric motor needs. Does your battery need to be replaced? Their technicians will have you up and running. The diagnostic team at Romaine Electric identifies and repairs all electrical issues from farm, truck, marine, industrial, diesel, ATV, and PWC. Romaine Electric in the Industrial Park off Ferry Street and Wenatchee Avenue. Stop by or give them a call today at 663-8150.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a good Tuesday evening on the prep schedule for today. A busy one in soccer as Manson is on the road at Bridgeport trying to pick up their second win of the season. Meanwhile, Cashmere hosting Chelan and Caribou Trail League play tonight. The Bulldogs 8-4. Chelan a rough season so far at 2-7-1. And the big matchup right here on the NCW Life channel has West Valley at Eastmont. Of course, the Wildcats knocked West Valley off earlier this season 4-2. The Rams looking for a little payback. Meanwhile, Eastmont's trying to get back on track after they've lost a couple. That's at 7 o'clock tonight. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen with all the call here on your NCW Life channel. And volleyball tonight, Cascade Christian is at Etiette as the Tigers try to remain unbeaten. Bridgeport is at Manson. Soap Lake at Waterville Mansfield. It's Cashmere hosting Chelan. And Eastmont's on the road at West Valley, while Wenatchee also on the road in the Yakima Basin there at Sunnyside. Other prep action today. It's been a very busy day. Slow pitch softball. Wenatchee trying to bounce back from its only losses of the season last week to Moses Lake. They've got a doubleheader today at West Valley. Cross country, the Big Nine with a meet at Walla Walla Point Park. Cashmere on the road at Cascade for the Enchantment Duel. In the calendar for this week, our broadcast schedule looks like as follows. As we mentioned, it begins tonight with West Valley at Eastmont in soccer at 7. Thursday's hockey night starting at 7 with a Call of the Wild in Clarkie's Corner, followed by the Wenatchee and Vernon game from October 11th. On Friday, homecoming for the Wenatchee Panthers as they host Moses Lake live at 7. Saturday and Sunday feature a bunch of great games from back in September and early October. Check out the website, ncwlife.com, for more information. Well, the Wenatchee Wild will try to bounce back on the road at Salmon Arm tonight in BCHL action. Wenatchee dropped a 3-2 decision to Merritt Saturday at the Town Toyota Center and make the 6-hour, 288-mile journey to Salmon Arm, BC tonight to take on the Silverbacks. The Wild 7-4-1 on the young season, good enough for 5th in the Interior Division with 15 points. Salmon Arm 6-6, right behind Wenatchee in 6th place. Former Kashmir tennis phenom Peyton Wagner is now playing for the University of Oregon as a freshman and won 3 matches last weekend at the prestigious University of Washington Invite. Peyton, the younger sister of our own Tucker Wagner, took home her first collegiate match with an 8-3 victory against Peyton Jennings of Arkansas. Peyton then dispatched her University of Portland opponent 3-6, 6-3, 6-4. Wagner then dropped Angela Lee of Washington 6-4, 6-1 to complete her tournament as Oregon went 22-4 for the invite. Congratulations to Peyton Wagner. Well, Todd Frazier and Aaron Judge each hit 3-run home runs to back CC Sabathia on the mound as the Yankees bombed Houston 8-1 in Game 3 of the American League Championship Series last night. We'll have Game 4 recap tomorrow morning with Dan on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. The National League Championship Series shifts to Wrigley Field for tonight's Game 3. Yu Darvish will take the ball for the Dodgers, who lead the series 2-0, while Kyle Hendricks will go for the Cubs. Dan will also provide the totals from that game tomorrow morning, beginning at 7 o'clock here on the NCW Life Channel. Again, we've got soccer coming up tonight. It is West Valley trying to exact a little revenge at Eastmont on a very windy night at Wildcat Stadium. Again, Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen have your play-by-play coming up with a pregame at about 6:55. The kickoff at 7 o'clock at Eastmont High School tonight. And then also, we're making plans for next week already. Next Friday, of course, is the Bridge of Sportsmanship game featuring Wenatchee hosting Eastmont in that battle for Big 9, and that'll probably be the playoff for both of those teams. We're going to have a live pregame show beginning at 6:30 to tell you all about the fun stuff that's happening with the philanthropic efforts happening at the Apple Bowl next Friday night, so join us for that. That's sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom on the NCW Life Channel. Grant, back to you.
Thanks, Eric. The most recent episode of the TV series Washington Grown features a trip to Wenatchee, where the hosts visited a local orchard, the museum, and the Apple Blossom Festival.
We're in the heart of downtown Wenatchee. We're here for the Apple Blossom Festival, and I get to learn a little bit about the history of Wenatchee and the apple history.
And I'm going to speak with the queen of the Apple Blossom Festival to find out how royalty works here in Wenatchee.
Tell her I want my crown back. While Tomas is off finding the Apple Blossom Queen, I'm heading to the museum to learn more about Wenatchee's rich history from the curator, Melanie Wacholder.
So it was first settled in the late 1800s.
Okay.
First trading post here was the Miller Freer Trading Post. That was really the first white people into the area, and then they brought more and more people, of course, as people kept coming west. And then by the 1890s, that's when the Great Northern Railway brought their train through here. And there were already some apples growing in the area, and really the train and the apples were what brought more and more people here.
As more and more people moved to the area, they grew more and more apples, making the area a hub for the apple industry. Today, our high-quality apples are washed, sorted, and packed using computers and lasers. The forerunners of the industry had technology too, but it was a bit more rudimentary. This is where they would do quality control.
Kind of sort them out, and then this is where they actually get catapulted.
Catapulted.
Yeah, so the catapult kind of takes them, depending on their weight, into where they get caught over here, and then.
So they have a soft landing.
Yeah, so it should be a soft
landing. Should be a soft landing. The museum has a lot of great exhibits and information about the apple capital, and eventually I had to go meet Tomas, who was in good company.
All right, Your Majesty, what is this?
This is an apple pie.
Oh, geez, look at that. This is Miss Amy Sand, who served as the 2017 Apple Blossom Queen. Now, this high school senior is not only smart and fun, she loves her hometown. We're actually in front of a pretty amazing thing that's happening here at the park.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about this.
So from April 27th through May 7th is our whole festival.
Okay.
And it's been happening for 98 years now. This year's theme is Awesome Blossom.
Awesome Blossom.
And it's really exciting and really cool because this time of the year is when the community really comes together. Everyone is giving their time. Everyone wants to make other people happy.
Yeah.
And it's just really cool to watch people care so much.
So tell me, what makes Wenatchee so special?
Wenatchee itself, we have so many growers. My whole life I was raised in agriculture, and that's what Wenatchee is. It's full of agriculture, and it's just really special to me because it's my home. It's what I've lived to, and when I leave Wenatchee and I go to bigger cities, I feel lost and weird, and it's because everyone here almost knows everybody. It's a small town, and so you're really close with a lot of people, and it's nice to know everyone. It's just really special. Like I've been saying, it's the apple capital of the world.
Well, and those apple pies are any indication.
I know. So good.
You were so true. Well, Your Highness, thank you so much for showing me around today, and I think you are going to have an excellent reign.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Tomas! Have you been eating all day?
Well, not all day.
This looks delicious.
Here.
Oh, thank you.
Give that a try. This is funnel cake.
What is this? Funnel cake.
Yeah, a little funnel cake, some whipped cream, strawberries. I know you like it.
I do.
And if you want to try a funnel cake, the first week of May, Apple Blossom Festival here in Wenatchee. We'll see you there.
For more than 100 years, Washington has been growing the best apples around the world. From Red Delicious to Gala and the new Cosmic Crisp, Washington will continue to be the leader in everything apple for many generations to come. That's it for this episode of Washington Grown. Thanks for watching.
We'll be back in just a moment with a recap of some of today's stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this.
Is this really what we're going to do on our girls' night out? We should go to Club Crow.
The Bar and Grill in Cashmere?
Yeah, let's go.
Looking for a fun-filled, friendly hometown atmosphere? Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is the place to be. Hi, this is Justin. Here at Club Crow, we have full bar and restaurant, live music, a dance floor, pool tables, pull tabs, and live jam sessions the first Sunday of every month. Club Crow in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
So, how you guys doing?
My job starts in Portland in a month.
Can we find a buyer that fast? I think we're good. Our CBX app tells us who the best potential buyers are. We can pinpoint where the hottest prospects are located, right on this map.
2 cities over.
It even lets us set the most accurate price.
Wow, it really does all that.
It really does all that.
Well, help us pack?
We're working on that.
And now a recap of some of our top stories. Douglas County deputies responded to a hit and run involving a pedestrian in Rock Island Monday just before 7 p.m. According to a press release from Sheriff Harvey Jesdahl, a 57-year-old Rock Island woman was walking her dogs at the intersection of Saunders and North Garden Avenue when a vehicle drove through the intersection and onto the sidewalk. The woman rolled up onto the hood of the vehicle and fell off the passenger side. The suspect vehicle pulled into a small trailer park, according to the woman, who was able to give deputies a good description of the vehicle and the driver. Deputies located the driver, who appeared to be intoxicated. According to the press release, deputies arrested 63-year-old Miguel R. Isidro of Rock Island for driving under the influence and hit and run. He was booked into the Chelan County Jail without incident. The victim was taken to Confluence Hospital, and according to Jesdahl, her condition is unknown, but her injuries were not believed to be life-threatening. Chelan Fire and Rescue crews were dispatched to a possible structure fire this morning around 4:30 after a neighbor spotted the fire on South Lakeshore Road. Initial reports from the scene reported a small 50-foot by 50-foot brush fire. It was adjacent to an outbuilding with no structures involved. Crews contained the fire in a matter of minutes. The neighbor who made the call to 911 attempted to contain the fire while waiting for fire response using domestic water to keep the fire from growing until units arrived. The cause of the fire was determined to be from an electrical cord used to provide power to a camper located on that property. School was closed for a second day at Peshastin-Dryden Elementary after E. coli bacteria was detected in the Peshastin Water District's water system. The district is expected to determine tonight whether or not school will be held Wednesday. Classes were canceled Monday and today after the Water District detected the bacteria on Friday and Saturday, issuing a boil advisory for its water customers until further notice. Bottled water is available for customers at the Peshastin Fire Station. The Water District posted to its Facebook page yesterday, thanking the residents for their patience and apologizing for any inconveniences. Quote, "We are following all Department of Health procedures and are working closely with them to make sure our system gets back to normal as soon as possible," end quote. For more updates, continue to follow the Water District on Facebook. And now your weather forecast for north central Washington. Before we get to that, let's take another look outside our very windy weather window. It's not so bad up in the Pateros area. Our camera staying pretty steady, but all of our local cameras around Wenatchee Valley are shaking pretty badly today, from 25 to 35-mile-an-hour winds. We actually saw gusts between 40 and 50 today. And boy, I'll tell you what, that looks like that will continue. We do have a wind advisory still in effect until 8 o'clock tonight, but don't expect winds to really die down that much tonight because we are still seeing a vigorous cold front, and you can sure see it as we take a look at our water vapor imagery. It's dropping southwest out of the eastern Pacific and headed into the Pacific Northwest. The blue areas on that water vapor map are rain and moisture, with the white, of course, signifying clouds. The front moved across the northern Cascades around noon and is now over our area. The weather system is strong and moving fast and may produce some light rain, which could make it as far south as Highway 2, but most of the precipitation today anyway will be light. Of more importance, the winds this afternoon across the region. We talked about it, sustained southwest winds of 20 to 30 miles an hour with gusts between 40 and 50. That was possible all around the north central Washington area. This fits the criteria for a wind advisory, as I mentioned, which will expire around 8 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow and into Thursday night, the westerly flow will tap into much deeper Pacific moisture, and as an atmospheric river of precipitation noses into the area, giving us about a 40 to 50% chance of rain here in the Wenatchee Valley. We will continue to see blustery, wet weather through Friday before another large and moisture-laden frontal wave moves through the area this weekend, when our chances for rain goes up to 70 to 80%. Let's take a look at that forecast now. And tonight, an overnight low, very mild, around 42 degrees. Windy conditions will continue. Boy, you can see our camera shaking in the background there. Wednesday and Thursday, a good chance for some rain showers. Highs in the upper 50s to around 60. 58 on Friday, kind of our in-between weather systems day, and then that 70 to 80% chance of rain on Saturday into Sunday. Very cool Saturday too, at only 53. By Monday, clouds with our high temperature right around 60. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, tune into NCW Life Channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
This has been NCW Life News on the NCW Life Channel. For more news, log on to ncwlife.com, like us on Facebook, and follow NCW Life Channel on Twitter.
Hey everyone, Frank Ferrari here at Frank's Used Cars, where everybody gets a good deal. Today's deal is F-150 under 300,000 miles. Yesterday, $55.95. Today, it's only $213. At this price, this thing won't last long. Hurry on down to Frank Ferrari's Used Cars, where everybody gets a good deal. Right, Fred? Forget about Frank. Here at Town Nissan, we're fun, we're fair, and we're fabulous. Town Nissan, behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
Pets are not your whole life, but they do make your life whole. At Paws and Claws Veterinary Hospital, not only do they understand that fact, they live it every day. Dr. Baez and her staff at Paws and Claws love dogs and cats so much they've dedicated their lives to the well-being of our four-legged friends. They offer compassionate care with a personal touch. Paws and Claws Veterinary Hospital on the corner of 4th and Nile in East Wenatchee, or call pause.
Is your vehicle in need of a quick oil change or tune-up before hitting the road this summer? Stop by Quick Lube and Tune, the home of the good guys at 610 South Wenatchee Avenue.